Hi, good afternoon, good evening, all the people out here. And I welcome you all to this Friday webinar. And I hope it will help you in getting a strategic career ladder in your workplace so that you don't have to worry about whether you have shifted a workplace, whether you are not okay with your boss or you are finding a new portfolio to develop into, or say you don't know people around you, your colleagues and all, you don't have to worry about that. Why? Because now you have a sure formula in which it will bring about the best whatever strength you have, and it will only emphasize what you know, because you will learn the secret formula that will give you all this comfort level at your workplace, and that is the objective of this workshop. So thank you so much for tuning in when it might be this Friday evening, you might be doing so many things. It is weekend is tomorrow, and you might be planning to spend your time with your family members, friends, or some outing might be, grand arrangements, grand planning for the weekend ahead. But you chose to spend time with me, and I'm very much obliged to you for that. So the few ground rules out here. You will be listening to me for about 90 minutes. And whatever questions you have, that will be towards the end. And what else? If you have something, if you have some plan to go in between, I would like you to go now itself so that you don't get to know something half-heartedly, because the entire loop will be closed if you listen to it completely. So how many of you would like to learn that secret formula today? So write just me in the chat box. And how many of you don't want to learn anything about it, but just you are curious about what is going on? That also you can write in the chat box, and that is fine. But I tell you, anything that you listen to half-heartedly or half the time or half the presentation, then it will not serve you any good. You will be knowing, you will be thinking that you already know all these formulas, nothing new. That will be your impression in the beginning. Because, I was the same. I was thinking, what is the new thing that this coach is going to tell me? But trust me, I learned many things new in a very common kind of webinar, because the experience that is brought by a speaker, any speaker for that matter, even if 90% of the time they are saying the same thing that you already know, still they will have something, they will say something, they will add some of their insight which they will remember during the presentation and tell you. And because of your questions, they might come up with some insights which they have forgotten or not really thought of sharing in the presentation or during the webinar. still they will come up with something which can change your life. It happens all the time. No matter how ordinary this person is, no matter how conventional this person is, it is always and always some insights which will blow your mind. And you may ask, why then spend 90 minutes for that something to come? Well, you have a valid question out there. Why to spend 90 minutes? I will tell my take. Suppose you are not destined to hear something groundbreaking for you at this moment. Definitely, you are not going to hear it right now, today. But if you are destined for listening to that particular formula today, then here is a chance to be educated by that formula and rediscover your life another time. So let us start with the topic, and let me share the screen for that. So the topic is leadership growth, as you might be seeing in the slide. Let me make it full presentation, right? Yeah, okay. So what is leadership growth? Oh, what happened to it got closed. So by the time it opens, let me tell you, what do you think of leadership growth? Leadership growth is growing as a leader, whether you get the position or authority or not. So everybody, whoever is in the workplace or anywhere else, is a leader, and the growth has to happen for uh, for achieving promotion, significance, and authority, right? So leadership growth is before the recognition or promotion. So many people confused it with promotion, but it is not actually promotion. It is the growth beforehand. So meaningfulness of existing career, do you do what you love? So that will be my first question. Showing your relevance. What is that one thing nobody else can do? So let us start by answering these questions. What makes you stand out? What is that one thing that you only can do? Have you made the work a dream one? What profile you are working? Today I was sharing something with somebody, and he was telling me that sorry about this again. So he was saying that you are lucky to have a boss like this, that you are able to design your work profile and all. Many people will say that incompetence is inability to follow the work profile, and competence is something which is when you follow your work profile 100%. And that is very sad. Who tells like that? I don't know, but maybe when you are in a situation where you need to innovate, how can you be following your work profile 100%? You have to be 200% of your work profile all the time. Do you agree with me there? So, to be able to do justice to your work profile 200% time all the time, what do you do? You have to carve out something which is around your strength area. People will, of course, keep on telling you about your weakest area, what you are not good at, what you cannot do, all that. But don't worry. Just start by designing your work profile the way it should be. So if you are not doing that, you are losing out on time. So here is what we will be learning here. Achieve leadership growth by strategizing your career ladder. So career ladder is just one step at a time. So if it is a ladder like thing, you just slowly build up. You get one step, perfect it, move to the next step. It has to be very small, very steady. That is what we'll be doing. So how you will know that you are on the path of growth? The indicators will be, results will be known. Everybody will know the result. Growth trajectory monitor. Whatever you monitor or evaluate, it grows. So I hope you take that. Growth trajectory is always evaluated. So you have to have an Excel sheet at least, and you will be monitoring your growth. And you will be training people with whatever you know. And many people resist that, because unless you train people with whatever you know, you will not learn, because people will come to your level and then you don't have anything to stand out with. So you will force yourself to learn. So force yourself to learn is the agenda out here. So these are the three characteristics of leadership growth. If you are doing all these three things right, you are on your path to grow as a leader. And once you grow as a leader, you are definitely going there. So the technique is called resourceful influencing technique, and the action points for that is problem analysis, that you will know. The resourceful influencing technique has 6 steps: presentation skill, optimum use of time, budget, and HR, creating second line leaders, overcoming ambiguity, and subject matter expertise. These are the 6 things that uh, we will learn. These are the 6 steps you can take in your career ladder, and you, I said, these are the 6 steps to perfect, as a result of which the career ladder will be stabilized. Now you will say, what is then is the strategic career ladder. We are already doing all these things, right? Just a minute. Webinar ଚାଲିଛି ବେଟା, ପଛରେ କଥା ହେବି. So the strategic moves. Let us start by knowing what are those. So when we come to the presentation skill, which means partly English speaking skills. But as you know, communication skill is not about only speaking English. It has to be communicated. Something needs to be communicated, right? In whatever language you see. So it means something, that something is more important than the language. So even then, communication is about reading, writing, listening, and speaking. So how much of that you do? Do you read? Do you write? Do you listen to? So lastly comes the speaking part. Unless you are in the other three parts, you are not communicating enough. Is this a ball bump moment for you? Is this something you have discovered today? The second is creating a success matrix of how does a success matrix is created. It starts with failures. Have you been able to recognize your failures? So that is the first stage. Top line and bottom line. Always communicate with your top line and bottom line. Whatever conversation you do with your boss or anybody. No, I was just giving one example. Somebody was in a relationship, was a relationship officer, and he is now into marketing. Now, marketing, if you have adopted the marketing line, it is 80% of relationship, okay, all right. But at the end of it, you have to have customer acquisition, right? Now, if you are focused on the process itself, then you are not achieving the result that is required at you as a marketing person. Now what do? That is a very different kind of thing. So you have to communicate along the top line and bottom line, and that has to happen all the time so that people know where you are going. You also know that this is the new direction you need to take. It has to be always. So income of the company is the bottom line. That is where you start working, right? And sales of the company is the top line. How much is that? Subject matter expertise. Why? Because you are going to create a legacy. That is what you are bothered about. And that is what you are concerned with. So that is third is being relevant, depth and diversity. So you can, if you are superficial, you can't expect to be a person of relevance, right? So how do you describe that? How do you find that circle of concern, circle of interest, and circle of usefulness? And in between, there is this small area which is relevance. Now that relevance you need to achieve, all other areas will be there. Those will be a big part of it, but still you will be achieving that relevance. If you know your portfolio to encompass all these three aspects. Leadership significance again has three components. One is competence, the second is passion, and third is the solution that you will be solving. And that is how you will get the significance. Then connecting the dots. So far, whatever experience you have, are you able to utilize that in this place? So if you are able to do that, so that is the ability that you will be developing out here as a leadership growth person. Bringing change, navigating ambiguity. Change is the biggest uh, ghost in the workplace. Nobody likes change. So even when I am talking about change to all of you, I have undergone a change at my workplace right now. Just last week and just yesterday, my ED was saying, "What is your profile? You are not very visible. Let us make your profile very visible." So that means I'm about to undergo some kind of change in my profile, in my own profile, which will be more visible now. So even if I like to work very calmly and quietly at my own pace, it won't be the same going forward. So even if I don't like whatever I am going to be given, still that is the change I have to adapt if I want a change in whatever is now happening. If I am not happy with whatever is happening, I have to adapt change, right? So how to do that? In between so much of ambiguity, what should be done, what is very essential, and how how can there will be synchronization, all those things you need to take care and carve out a path for yourself. Choice of alternatives, knowing the perfect move. So there are, say, alternatives will come from all these factors: mistakes, problems, risks, crisis, right? Pain, success, failure, all those things. And with each will be an alternative. If this happens, what? If that happens, then what? So those alternatives, uh, knowing the perfect move, at what point what move should be taken, your journey, who you become. So at the end of it, doing all of that leads you to be a person who is adopting leadership growth. So who actually you become. So Jack Canfield says it is not the result that is important, it is who you become in the process of achieving the result. So I'll tell you what it is. So when you are into the job, you are saying that you are doing 100%. But how much you are learning, you will say you are not getting time to learn. That is the difference. That is where you should, if you are thinking like this, then I would urge you to just think for a moment. Whenever you are working, whatever time you are giving to your work, during that time you should be learning. That is the time to learn. There is no other time. If you are not learning, then you are not growing. If you are not growing, then that leadership growth is not happening. Whether you tell it or not, whether one can prove it or not, it is not happening. So take care and give yourself those circumstances to learn. So be careful of this. What problems happening now? List those problems. Why do you think those are happening? Even give them an analysis. How is your work life health? Focus on your productivity if it is so. And if you have a complaint, then industry data says that you are looking for an alternative solution. You are not contemplating to stay here. And the more senior you are, it will take the more time for you to move out. And during that time, if you have a complaint, you are not working at your 100% productivity level. You are just working at 20% productivity level. If the more senior you are, the more time it takes to find out a solution. And during those 3 to 5 years, you are only working at 20% of productivity. Now, if you are for 3 to 5 years, if you are working at 20% productivity level, what happens to your potential? So people, I have tried doing a market research, and in which people have told many reasons why they are not able to be productive and why they are looking for a solution. Most of the time they are looking for a solution because they are not able to do anything at the present workplace with the present set of circumstances. And the reasons they have given me were about very little of that is directly about workplace. Many of those reasons are other reasons, some personality, mindset, and other related stuff, you know, which hampers productivity. And which areas of life get affected? Almost all areas. Life decisions are hampered, work decisions not taken promptly or efficiently, competition, not able to handle competition, communication is abysmal, confidence, no confidence, all the time conflict with the colleagues, learning a new skill because they are not able to focus, they cannot learn anything. A big vision is a far cry because they don't even know what they are doing today. Managing time is a problem, and consistency obviously is a problem. So these are the areas where you have a problem, you have a complaint, and if you are not looking for a solution, thinking that there is no solution, then these are the areas get affected. And why you should not want a short-term solution? Why? Because many of the time when I tell people this, all the areas are interconnected. You have a problem, all these areas will get affected. You might be knowing or you might not be knowing. Or if you might be thinking that only this problem gets to be sorted and then all others will be taken care of. It is not so. But short-term solution will not give you a long-term respite. And why so? You have to figure out. I am saying those problems affect all the areas of life, and you have already aggravated those things. You are not into 100% productivity level, so better be careful. What can be a long-term solution? Long-term solution is about possible or impossible looking solution, which cannot happen in a day or two. You have to change a lot so as not to attract the same kind of problem another time. If you get a short-term solution for now and again tomorrow the problem appears in another form, what you will do if you are not prepared? Solution to one problem. When you solve a problem, it doesn't solve the root cause. So to eliminate a root cause, it takes time, right? And what all you have tried so far, list that down also. If you become conscious about whatever all you have done so far, what all efforts you have taken so far, it will give you also the failure and success percentage and why you have failed and what succeeded. It will give you a perspective and not to try the same thing which you have already failed with. Maybe you can try a different solution. Why it didn't work out also you need to know your reasons of failures. Most of the time, 80% of the time, that is because of a mindset problem, you know, and because you are not able to adapt. You are not able to adapt because of a mindset issue. You know, when the mindset, your mindset is the culprit, how can you go on blaming people all around? All of them cannot be wrong at the same time, right? So let us start by changing ourselves. And why it is beneficial to have a long-term solution is it will give you time, ultimately more time. It will give you a proven path. It will establish your reputation. It can give you more choices for whatever, for maybe more income solutions, more ways to do work, all those things. If those are the things, then just decide which one is yours, right? And let us start with that so that we can have this uh, solution according to this. And the formula that I have already told you is resourceful influencing technique and leadership growth. This is the blueprint is called leadership growth blueprint, wherein we start with a difference, like how you stand out, how you can establish your resilience, and how can you create influence, and how you can achieve prominence. And those all the factors will be regulated by attitude, habit, action, and perception all the time. Those are mindset issues. So if you handle the mindset dimension, along with these action formula, then leadership growth happens. And once you reach to the prominence level, the cycle again starts from the bottom, because you reach to that level, and at that level another level of competition and significance, the requirement of significance is waiting out there. So daily instant fix is, how do you know how much you have done, how much you have risen, and how much to go? So you ask yourself three questions. The first is, how do you perceive yourself to be? That is what I call as reality check. How do people perceive you to be? That is I call resilience. And how do you want to be remembered in life, after your career is gone? That is called range or reaching beyond. The daily dilemmas of life of a professional career, the most objections that I have heard is about communication issue. People complain of communication. As I said, it is about writing, reading, speaking, and listening. People will tell you that solution. But what can be the subject? If they want you to read, write, listen, speak about something which is not related to workplace, what will you do? If there is a time management problem, they will give you the solution of calendar. But what should you put in the calendar? Is it the to-do list only? Have you not already put those to-do list and started working according to that and getting overwhelmed with the calendar? If you are procrastinating, they will advise you to do 5 small actions every day. But with that, what do you need to achieve? That is what you have to be very clear about. When you are searching for another alternative, people will tell that your resume should be as short and crisp as possible. But how to formulate the entire experience in one page? So they will tell you to put 3 things of priority if you are overwhelmed with everyday's work. So how to pick those 3 priority tasks which has those will achieve 80% of result? How do you decide that? When you are asking for support, they will say, be specific in your asking. Then how to decide where you need support without appearing stupid? That will be your concern. So communication is again integration of whatever you are listening to and whatever you are doing. Then presentation skill is another challenge, that, and so on and so forth, right? These are few of the challenges, dilemma that you will be undergoing. Now, how did I achieve that? So far, if you go for my experience, all those questions, every time all the professionals face to some degree, some extent. So far, I have trained 18,000 professionals to impact about 1 crore lives since 2008, and all of them had similar kind of problem. And so, some have this problem, some have another problem. So I have handled 18,000 professionals so far, and they in turn have gone to train other people. And what I have observed is at least 2 skills is available with each person. Now, with those 18,000 people, I have achieved 45 lakhs of enumeration of women in Rajasthan in just 2 months of time. In Meghalaya, in 2 years of time, we have established 239 common service center in which 1500 people are appointed. And every remote corner of Meghalaya was connected with the central server so that people are now getting services at their doorstep without coming to Shillong and wasting money on thereby. Then in Andhra Pradesh and Telangana, when there was a crisis in 2010, I was tracking the Andhra Pradesh recovery. So it was a microfinance scenario, something happened. It was an ordinance that happened, and I was tracking about 10,000 employees there, how they are performing how much every day, how much each person wise, how much they are doing. So it was in Andhra Pradesh and Telangana. I did it for 1 year. Then I was there at Bandhavgarh Tiger Reserve for 4 years in the jungle itself. It was a tiger reserve where people had food for only 3 months. So my task was to make that area food sufficient, and with the help of say about 50 of my immediate colleague and 500 people around, we achieved that target in about 4 years of time. People have had sufficient grains to sell now, and that is what I did. And again, apart from that, uh, we established about 10 farmer producer organization around that with 500 of my colleagues who got educated and trained by me. This is what one of my colleague who is now an UNDP officer says: uncanny talent to spot talent in others. And the results that I had achieved is, and that is what I'll be suggesting you, that be solution focused. Those are very difficult projects, although they look very easy just by my description, but those are very difficult projects. And how I achieved those are, like say, I was very solution focused. So you can be also, if you think about problems all the time, the solution is not going to appear. Recognizing uniqueness in others. If you see, those are very remote places, and I didn't get many trained people to be working with me. But whoever I got, the local people, I trained them and achieved my target in time. I started very small, build it consistently. I didn't know where I would reach, but I reached it more than my expectation. And I did that by leveraging the strength in others. Some people, although illiterate, they had more strength, more capability than me in some areas. And if something doesn't work, then tweak it a bit and try another thing. That is what I call by alternative solutions. These are few of the recognitions that I got from my company as a result of my work. I was sent on a study tour to Canada as a recognition of my work. And one of my person who got trained from the community is the CEO of one of the producer company at Bandhavgarh. But where did I start? And where did I shift my pattern? When I started my career, I used to be the star performer. I was saving, say, like say 90% of the thing, but I used to complain a lot. But I loved my work. I could handle a variety of tasks in emergency, but I never was trained for those. And then I attended a HR workshop meant for HR professionals, but I was not the one. Give me 1 second. So that was the first experience of resourcefulness that I had. And um, and I got lot of opportunity, as I said, where the tasks were very challenging and I was not looking for being the boss. I got the recognition just by providing the solution, and that's it. So learning, what learning you will get from this? How it will contribute to your holistic improvement? The first thing is the organization will be helped with your learning. You will be able to report properly. You will be able to give some insights of a particular situation. You will be able to convey whatever your opinion or whatever your study of the situation is, and you will be understand much more. You will understand about yourself, about the organization, about your colleagues, and about the things that will be coming up. Boss will be help because you will be more knowledgeable now, and you will be able to support him. You will give him the key contribution that he is looking for, not only doing your 100% of your profile, but the contribution that he is looking for at the moment. Your negotiation skill will be better because the boss requires to deal with lot many stakeholders, for which all of that he is alone. But now if you are capable, you can lend a hand to him, and with you will be able to give him alternative perspectives of people around. He might have one opinion about something, but you can very humbly can present your perspective and other perspectives also. Boss's boss will be helped because he is concerned with deadline, succession, because you are a capable person apart from your boss now, so he'll have less worry about who to succeed in case your boss resigns, and he can trust you with external stakeholders now. And because you are able to strategize your career ladder now, he can assign you with some strategy making thing. So today I was also thought of planning, to have more planning. Colleagues will be helped with quick completion. You can be a go-to person who has this, who seems to have all the solution all the time. You can handhold them in terms of need. Obviously, you can't do the work for others, but you can handhold them properly. Cohesion in the team will be established. Learning impact too will be who you would become. Now, that is what I tell you. The mindset aspect is fourfold. Attitude defines personality. How is your attitude towards work, towards life, towards family, and towards surrounding? Habit strengthens capability. What habits you want to strengthen? Timeliness, responsiveness, proactiveness, performance, or what? Action enhances dependability. So what credibility you want to earn, who you want to be, how you will reach there, why you want what you want, what is planning. Perception creates reality. Do you agree things can be different than what you think? Bringing you an experience, creating an opportunity, giving you a learning. All this will be the part of your learning. Learning impact 3, your power resume, if you want that. So how your resume can be in one page? By outlining your strength and all. Learning impact 4, strategic positioning, how to sell your idea and personality. It is about subtle assertion, strong conviction, suitable obsession, subliminal orientation, and synergizing conversation. Those 5 aspects you will we will be learning. Learning impact 5 will be 7 aspects of leadership growth, and it will be done every week with a free weekly call. How to hone a skill, whatever skills you have to have a roadmap how to hone it further. Then how to be highly productive. So your everybody's situation is very different. How you can save time, where to save time, how to save time. Then happily engaged, whatever you are doing, right? Then how to hustle consistently. 10 minutes task all the time. If you are appearing to be working all the time, but it will surely cause you burnout after some time. So how to say save yourself from the burnout and still achieve the result? Hungry for transformation, learn, do, teach. Hopeful of better time, are you so these are the aspects you will become honest about your efforts and hungry for transformation, hopeful of better time. So maybe there are then sixth aspect will be developing characteristics of a resourceful mindset. As I said, the technique is resourceful influencing technique, and for that you have to have a mindset. And what are the characteristics of a resourceful mindset? It always finds opportunities, and ongoing difficulties it overcomes and thinks to overcome. And might be strength and weakness comes in equal proportion to him. Is a giver who always has gratitude, imagination, visualization, exercises, and does reading, and follows a proven discipline, right? So my course is about leadership growth blueprint, and it talks about those 10 characteristics, 10 steps, uh, which we'll be doing. And it has 5 bonuses, 5 gifts for you, in which you will design your internal patterns. You would agree with me that there are you as a person has to have these 5 internal patterns, which might sabotage your ability to work. That is called, some people call it as little voice, inner voice. And how to power of yourself with a morning technique. The mindset with which every day you wake up is about a winning mindset. You have to have that dream. But every day you cannot motivate yourself unless you have a plan as to what you are achieving within the 90 days. The results that you will get as a result of these particular exercises: start the day with a defined expectation, recognize uniqueness in others, start small, build consistently, leverage the strength in others, nudge and budge, tweak or move on. The same thing that already we have spoken, right? The second bonus is about soul search. So why do you need this? It is about mindfulness, as I said. Mindfulness is about your mindset. You have to remain a winner at every moment of your life. You should not think. When I say you should not, you will start thinking. So you always think about the winning formula that you will be adopting. And whatever your mind says about the winning formula, that is absolute. You are not going to accept anything that is negative. And mind you, the moment you are resolved to take decision and start acting positive, your mind will resist with lot of negativity. So those are the what you can say involuntary action of the animal brain that we still retain, which actually is concerned about our security. So whenever we start taking risk, it will stop us so that it protects us from failure, right? So, but that is where our executive brain, which is here, it comes into being. We need to exercise it, make it muscle strong so that it takes more of it, more of it, and more of risks. And every risk entails a failure, and we should be okay with failure. How do you do that without soul surge? Your soul needs to be brought into action. The soul always aims for growth, while your mind, your brain will stop you from growth. So that soul has to be upgraded, brought into the fore, has to be given the leadership within your mind with different uh, rituals and techniques so that it remains prominent and it helps you to move forward rather than get stuck. So the third course is about continuous upgrade. As I tell you, always learn a new skill, or whatever skills you have learned, practice it 10,000 times. That is what they say. Somebody told that I'm not afraid of the 10,000 things that you have learned, but I'm afraid of that one thing that you have practiced for 10,000 times. So that means it is about a process. The process with which you have learned that one thing 10,000 times. So in the process that you have adopted to learn that 10,000 times, it has to be the marathon with which you will build your muscle. You will train your body for a run with a marathon. While you are not as speedy as you do in a sprint finish, you are not rushing, you are doing it slowly, steadily, bringing yourself up, whether you are winning or not, but you are building your strength all the while. So this continuous upgrade is required, and when you are doing this, you have to be focus on the process rather than the result. Suppose you are doing an exercise about with multiple choice, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 you are doing, and suppose you ticked on something and it went well, but you didn't realize why you have chosen that particular choice. So the process is about that, why you have chosen what you have chosen, right? And each time you achieve certain proficiency with something, then raise your bar and raise your proficiency level so that you can be a better person. And every day, whether you have won or lost, bad experience, good experience, you have to give a positive angle to each of the story. It is a learning, it is an experience. It is never a failure. It is never a stoppage. It is just an experience. And this is one of the testimonial of one of my colleague who became a Panchayat secretary afterwards. She finds a way out for herself and others. So it was a Naxal affected area, and I was the only employee. Not even an office assistant was there. as the single person out there doing everything for myself, right? So that is what he was referring to. She finds a way for herself and how to do with others. Even then, I had revived a watershed, dead watershed there, and it was very successful as well. Just with a single person, because I had this ability to train people according to the need. I chose the community people and trained them there. And the results will be raising the bar at each milestone. 1% improvement daily. Writing a big vision. How would you write a big vision? This is something very interesting. So raising the bar with each milestone means you are achieving some result. Then the next next difficult thing you have to assign yourself. Every day you learn one thing, whatever small, however small it may be, just one thing more. That is called 1% improvement. Writing a big vision means write anything that comes to your mind. Becoming a king of something, all that kind of abstract thing, no? Very, you will laugh at yourself, but those should be very big. As of my big vision, it is like uh, impacting 1 billion lives in 139 countries with 1 lakh super performing global players with a multi-billion dollar enterprise. That is my big vision. You can write such a big vision which seems impossible, yet when you calculate and plan it, it seems possible. It might appear in a very big scale, and I right now might not be knowing how to achieve that scale. It doesn't matter. It just have to be put on paper with that planning as to how to reach that big vision. Today, if it comes calculating backwards, if it comes to be something very impossible today, doesn't matter. 1/10 or 1/100th or 1,000th of it, if possible, do that. As I am saying this, I am giving myself an ultimatum as to where I should be today. And tomorrow, I should definitely be better than today, although I still cannot achieve whatever I have planned and created, calculated on the paper for myself as of today, thinking about that big vision. As soon as you give yourself a goal, it has a time and a date, and as you make it to this date, calculating backward, it becomes a goal for today. It might not be something very possible for today, but again, this is something that you have to work towards. 1,000th of that, if that is possible, do it. Now, if you have formulated that one day goal format, obviously you have a 90 days goal also. Now, how, suppose I ask you for a 90 days goal and putting a big vision, there will be a difference. Calculating backwards, the big vision calculating backwards will be way bigger than the 90 days goal that you will have today. But again, what will that goal be in 90 days time? Let us think about that. Let us do about that. Let us take action. And if it doesn't happen in the next 90 days, choose another 90 days goal. Definitely, without a goal, whatever you would have achieved, you would have gone nowhere. But with a 90 days goal, definitely you will proceed towards that. Right? Outline an execution plan, as I said, for the big vision, calculating backwards, and the 90 days goal, calculating forward. For both, put an execution plan. This will exercise your brain to strategize. That is the result we are aiming for. And each event is a learning, whether you are able to achieve or not achieve. That is a learning. The fourth one is delegate appropriate. Now, delegation is required because you ultimately want to save time, right? You want to have more time for you. So, who will do the routine task? These are the people, your second rank and third rank. They are the people who are going to reach to your position ultimately. How will they reach unless you train them? And how do you train if you don't delegate some of the tasks that you do? If you delegate, you need to train and recognize who is the fish and train him or her to swim. Who is the bird and train that person to fly, right? Fly higher. Don't train a bird to swim and a fish to fly, right? That is where leadership growth is coming. Beginner to master and star beyond. Give this roadmap to your second and third rank as you are giving it to yourself. Get more by regular self-evaluation. This is what you do every day with yourself and with your second and third rank colleagues. If they are able to achieve something, acknowledge that. Right? And this is one of my junior colleague who, from a normal executive, she has grown to be the HR manager of the company. And I helped her by this process, a process in which you can adopt that process. It's a simple process. Give some independent handling, support during some learning, little complex task every day, give exposure, dealing, ask her or him to deal with difficulty. This is what I did. And this you will learn as to how to do with your colleagues. And the results will be, you will be ultimately able to reach to a 4-work week. How to prioritize your work. 80% time in planning, how to spend, because you are a leader, how to spend 80% of your time in planning. How to save 4 hours every day, creating 2-3 successor at each level. And do defer, delegate, and delete, whichever is possible for your case, whenever you are learning. This will be your next learning point. And the fifth one is, let me save it, joypreneurship. Subject matter expertise you need to have. That is what we are aiming for, or monetizing a skill. Those are the joypreneurship that I am talking about. And this starts with a creative diversion. You start with a small hobby or passion that you are having, and then slowly build that up. So because this is what you love doing all the time without getting tired. So this should be leading to a monetizing skill, right? It should give you some income. So any digital skill like Facebook, ad campaign, ClickFunnels, email marketing, Canva, copywriting, content creation, record, edit, and publish your videos, website development, all these things. If any of the skill is like this also I can teach here. Otherwise, I can give you a strategy as to how to follow that thing in your career, right? The results will be, you can learn a digital skill out here. You will get strategic support. How to do data management also you can learn here. How to do team management, writing your own journey, and helping others with content. Maybe you can learn any of these skills also. And what do you learn every week? So this is a tradition of Gurukul that we are starting with. My mentor has 15,000 plus paid active members, and this is my mentor who is a law of attraction expert who has taught me, and he is my all-time coach who teaches me how to go forward. And this is his mentor, Siddharth Rasrikar, who is a new age digital educator, and I have cleared his first level. This is the certificate, and this is another coach who teaches how to be an inner champion. He is from Singapore, and I have been learning from him also. This is the coach of Robert Kiyosaki, who is the mentor of all my mentors. He is my grand mentor, Blair Singer. And these are the 12 coaches from whom I am learning. So, and this is Blair Singer, with whom I have been in a direct teaching assignment, learning assignment, where he told me to add courage factor to my curriculum so that it will help people who don't have courage. This is the gold certification that I have achieved as a result of my assignment with Blair Singer. And these are this may be one of the recognition that my organization got as a result of my efforts. And my mission, as I told you, to impact 1 billion lives with 1,000 super performing global players in 139 countries with multi-billion dollar enterprise. And let me write my vision statement also. Actually, my vision should come first, and this is about 8 billion billionaires. Super performing global players. For a sustainable globe. This will be my vision. I just wrote it here today. Working with core values. So peace, green, and abundance initiative. That is what I have been doing. Focus on ultimate objective. So was I growing as a leader? Was I influencing with resourcefulness? These will be your questions. And the influence path is start with uniqueness. Benevolence brings in admiration. If you are unique, the other person also is unique. And resilience builds credibility and stand out to get 3x growth. That is the influence path. And as I told you, resourcefulness is about three secrets, which is managing self, managing people, managing time. And influencing means what challenges, how the process will help, who you team up with, and why necessary. And resourceful influencing has a chain reaction. It propels you to, it wins recognition and growth, it creates resilience, overcomes struggles and challenges, unravels significance, and propels one to what's reaching beyond. Ultimately, what do you want to grow? So, recently, I was talking to a person, one of my client, and he was saying that he wants to be known for his people skill, and he wants to grow as a leader, a senior manager, maybe vice president level, or maybe CEO, or higher than that. Then I asked him, uh, like, say, what after retirement? You will not be the same person, no? You are a people's person, but what will happen to your people skill once you retire? Then he started thinking. So what my solution is to become a subject matter expert. That is how you will keep growing, right? And keep influencing as well. Was I making sense to the most silent member in the team? Was I passing the strike on time? This is the second level leadership. Like, say, you as a servant leader, you have to allow the other person to grow, to succeed, right? And you have to have a fail-proof system. And I want to give you a special offer today. Why? The actual value of this course that I'm offering is $5,000. And let let us forget about the retail price. And actually, I'll be teaching you the course wherein I have invested $5,000, right, in learning all of this so far. It took me 12 years to find out the problem plaguing me. So 12 years of experience. It could have escaped me even then. So what was my problem? I couldn't even know. But somebody pointed out that it has been a pattern with me. We do the same thing and expect different results. It might be your case also. We treat the problem at superficial level, while deep down there is a requirement of one simple fix which we never realize easily. So take a decision and make that decision right if you want to change your destiny. The fastest way to grow is to know where the market is going and get there first. So be at a right place, right time, right clarity, with right community. And to reiterate as to what I'll be teaching you, here is what I'll be teaching you. Identify your strength. We'll be conducting for the tests required for it, but not necessarily always, because some of you might be knowing or doing something already sufficiently, but knowing your personality no harm, right? So there are several kind of personality. You might be a mix of many characteristics, many personality. So we'll find out that, and then we will create daily wins for you, in which to observe, reflect, rectify, tweak everyday's occurrences, journaling them regularly. And this is a system of resourceful influencer uh, club. Then knowing the best about you. The second thing will be the response pattern, in which you will be known, given one personality type with four attributes. You will be either intuitive, judging, sensing, or feeling. With each strength comes a negative strength, right? So that is the third thing that we'll be learning. It, then mentoring, how you can delegate appropriate, that is about mentoring. How to manage challenges, the challenges that I uh, overcome at Meghalaya. So whatever your challenges, here is one challenge that I overcome at Bandhavgarh, staying in the forest with the tigers for 4 years. How to handle change. Herein, I was shifted from being an HR head to Jharkhand Khuti, where I was the lone person to revive the dead watershed. Then sixth thing will be how to have emotional intelligence so that you can deal with large number of people. Here in I work with 500 households where there were ladies, 500 ladies, and out of those I had formulated a community level federation wherein there were two wings to it. One was Tala cluster and another is Manpur cluster. And the federation had won 17 awards in 4 years of time. They won the CII Ideal Women Award, and they broke mustard production record of Madhya Pradesh. And they had this federation had 36 lakhs of corpus. They became food sufficient within 4 hours. Ladies became leaders, and Narendra Modi Saab, the Honorable Prime Minister, was the Chief Minister of Gujarat then, and these ladies won an award from him also. And they won the CII award as a result of this idea, which is called Punji is the Kunji, key of progress. To stop the vicious cycle of poverty, small capital is essential. That is what this lady told, and that is why she had won this. And they became the members of the district governing board, and this is the then industry minister, Mr. Anand Sharma, who was felicitating this lady called Devdi Bai. One farmer won the award from MS Swaminathan Research Foundation, being an ideal farmer. Another lady won an award from the Andhra Pradesh governor. So that is the resilience I had displayed. And I'm not saying the same will be your case, but you can also create those winning story in your own way. Managing ambiguity is the seventh thing. Herein, in Meghalaya, I had trained 1,500 young people, and there was no business opportunity. So how did I manage that? And how did I innovate the technical solution to connect all the remote CSC centers in a very difficult terrain like Meghalaya, to connect all the CSCs to the server? Eighth will be practicing mindfulness, time to have depth rather than spread. So uh, once you have the experience in various fields, there has to be one one subject or one decision, one direction towards which you will start working. And that is where mindfulness will be required. So this part will be essential to reaching beyond. And that is where we are creating legacy. So some of these are my experience as to how I use that learning at Bandhavgarh to create 11 farmer producer organizations in Sikkim in 3 months' time in 2017. I just created the reverse of the system out there, taking advantage of the circumstances and all the facilitating factors. Then the clue to reach beyond and give these huge projects to the world, there are very small clues to it. It is, first thing is facilitate wherever you can, innovate. So what I did at Sikkim, let us take the example of Sikkim, where I facilitated the process. There were farmers already mobilized there. So this was an advantage. So I just had to take the list of the farmers and I had to find them out. This is what I did, facilitating farmers to regroup again. Innovation is because the farmers were already motivated, mobilized. I did the registration of the FPOs first. Rather, this is an innovation. This is the process the other way around. That is why it took so little to have those farmer producer organizations in place in no time. Synergize, work with the government departments is the easiest way and the most efficient way if you can mobilize the government. The government themselves were looking to promote this farmer producer organization in a big way. So it became a win-win formula for us as well as the Sikkim government. So synergization became easy. The same happened at Bandhavgarh where people were looking for solutions. Many influential people were looking for solutions at the same time. So that has to be recognized and taken advantage of. So that is how we achieved results at Bandhavgarh and also Meghalaya. Then focus. Focus on whatever you are doing. So in the registration process, although farmer producer companies are registered under the Companies Act, but here because Sikkim is a very touchy state, sensitive state, so all the farmer producer organizations were registered under the Cooperative Act. So it was not to get upset about why this legality and why this constraint. The focus is to grow the lot of the farmers. And that is the focus, and one should work towards that rather than getting indulged into issues which one cannot control. Start small, always. Taj Mahal was not built in a day. The first day when it was started, the construction started, nobody could have told that this is Taj Mahal that day itself. So your work is like that. It cannot be called as a success the day you start. It will take significant amount of time when it becomes a success. So consolidate till then and integrate all the efforts. All the efforts, your prior experience and existing plus points. Then daily wins, already I have told you there is a process of creating daily wins, but those daily wins with a global vision will give us the focus towards going that. And This is few of the people where I am working with that thing. Learning a skill, a digital journey, which will give you easier tools to create a legacy, monetizing tool to create a legacy. That is why a digital journey. There are many kinds of digital journey pertaining to your own skill. And so we need to identify that and give that skill to you. These are few of the testimonials of my clients, and this is the big time testimonial of my super mentor, Mr. Vijay Mahajan, wherein he says, Sangeeta, you are an amazing person. Your ability to come up with relevant innovations needed at the base of the pyramid, which I call 14M, innovations for the millions. Is wonderful, but the world is full of smart idea walas. What distinguishes you is that you find resources and platforms to try out the ideas, to pilot test them, improve them, and hopefully scale those up. All good wishes. So I am in that endeavor, and I'm trying to scale up all my efforts, my experiences, and I'm looking forward for your collaboration with me to achieve that goal. So here is the curriculum, the 6 courses bundle that already I have described you here, and it is a solution to be highly productive, right? All, and there will be practice books, frameworks with which you can create your own formula. So there are this very interesting will be your dream tracker, and how you will do version jumps, and these are all in the process, not relevant for everything for each of you, but you will get a library of all these solutions so that you can use it at the time of need. So there are 30 of them that I am developing. Some of them already developed, some of them are still in the process of getting developed. So hope this helps you and this impresses you. And every week I take a class as a hackathon in which I'll take up your questions and try to answer them. And yes, so the total value, as I said, it is 50,000, but the level 1 is at 1,70,000 approximately. And the webinar's price is 9,999 only. Why I'm giving at this price is something very, very interesting. Why I'm giving at this price is because I want you to avail it and start with it. Obviously, you will get through all the resources of mine, and knowledge has to be shared. But with this price, you can get to the next level. And there is a webinar price. If you can within 5, there are other things, so many other things you can learn, because I am learning from 12 mentors all the time, one grand mentor all the time, and all the dignitaries from whom these coaches are learning, all will be downloaded to you. And this is a throwaway price with which I am giving you, just to bring you into the learning system so that you can start investing in yourself further and further. This is just the starting point. That is why I'm giving at this price. Hope you will appreciate it. And there is a webinar price also, if you want to take, that is relevant for only 15 minutes. So whoever wants that, within 15 minutes, they can send me a message. So this is all about today. Hope this helps. And I expect you people to come back to me with your questions, and looking forward to that. Thank you for being with me all the time.